Hey guys, fourth part in our chapter series. I'm really hungry and I won't make this too long, it's not a big section. We're dealing with regulatory agencies in Canada. As you know, in the pursuit of lower costs, competitive advantage, higher profits, private businesses use cheaper and more dangerous, potentially, materials. And eventually what happens is word does get around that certain businesses are putting safety at stake in order to have higher profits, and consumers respond by not buying these things. But the problem is that consumers, they don't want to find out the hard way. They don't want to be lab rats. Okay? So what they do is they cry for help. They call the government, they say, hey, these businesses are creating these dangerous products. You got to do something about it. So the government's like, all right, we got two answers to the solution. First answer is cavit emptor, and as you can tell, it's a Latin word. It means let the buyer beware. Now this was a very old way of doing things, where just the buyer would be responsible for checking the quality of the products before purchasing. It's because the government can't possibly regulate every single product. The government, even if they could, the required bureaucracy, it would just cost more than the benefit of screening out the minority of dangerous products. So we'd have to pay these bureaucracies so much just to take out like one or two products. So like it's just not worth it. It's not a smart decision. Marginal cost greater than marginal benefit. Second option is that certain products be regulated. Now why certain products be regulated and not none of them? It's because, well, not the average consumer can't tell if products such as nuclear power, products such as medicines, products such as poisonous insecticides, and professional services such as medicine, law, accountants, tradespeople are any good, like if they're any quality. And the governments will regulate these, and they'll regulate them in three ways. First way is through government departments. What happens is there are federal and provincial department heads elected, and these are called ministers. So the Minister of Finance, Minister of Transportation, etc., etc. And there are two others, and the two others have some problems, which I'll explain to you. The first one is government appointed agency boards. So these are governments who appoint independent agency boards, and they're usually called commissions, boards, or tribunals. So say for example in the dairy market, they'll pick one really successful guy and he'll become the appointed he'll basically run the agency or board, and these agencies are called commissions, boards, or tribunals. These are, remember, this is important because only government appointed agencies and boards are called commissions, boards, or tribunals. The third way is professional self-governing bodies, and we have this form because there are some professions like medicine, law, that the government just can't regulate them because they require specialized training. So what they do is they pick someone from that area to run the body. And so the Canadian Association of Doctors is regulated, as you can tell, by doctors. And the problem is that when doctors in professional self-governing bodies, or the guy in charge of the independent agency and the government appointed boards, The problem is that when these guys are put in power, they are supposed to care about the consumer. But the problem is they have an incentive to care about their own people. Doctors care about doctors. Dairy farmers care about dairy farmers. So what happens is certain people aren't let in, which restricts supply. So for example, for doctors, doctors from other countries, they can't become doctors, like say doctors in these countries here, they usually can't come to North America, Canada, the US, because the associations won't let them in. This decreases supply and shoots prices up. Doctors are making more, and they're happy, and they can, and that causes a problem. Anyways, so that's a little bit about regulatory agencies in Canada. I'm off to my lunch break. And in the next section, we will describe exactly what I just talked about, with the problem arising from professional self-governing bodies and government-appointed agencies. And that section, it will be called market failure and government failure. See you later, guys.